Women, why do we need to plan for retirement differently than men? It's because we're different, and there's nothing wrong with that. Things that we have to encounter in our lives are a little bit different. We live longer, and so that's okay. I'm Josephine Bojang, and we're going to continue our Women in Finance series and talk about the importance of planning properly and not generically, so that your retirement will be exactly how you want it and not someone else's. I'm Josephine Bojang, and one thing that most people don't know about me is that I'm multilingual. Not just in Chinese, because obviously you can tell by the way I look, but I also am fluent in Spanish. And so most people don't know that about me. And I feel proud about that because I never went to classes for that. It was just something that I took upon myself to learn how to speak it. And so I feel really good because communication to me is really important. And the fact that I can communicate to folks that speak a different language than me, then that is absolutely amazing for me to be able to relate to everyone else. And so I feel very proud about that. I'm very passionate about this Women in Finance series because this is near and dear to my heart. As a woman, I'm in an industry that is male dominated. When I was in my corporate role, in leadership, not only was I the minority as far as a female, but ethnicity wise, there's not a whole lot of me as you climb the corporate ladder. And so a lot of times, you're told to act a certain way, be a certain way, and you feel like you have to fit an image for other people versus being yourself. And believe it or not, even though I own my own firm, sometimes I feel that way as well because I'm the only female advisor on the team. Yes, I am part owner, but I'm also an advisor. And so I'm the only female advisor on the team. And again, I want to make sure that our voices are heard as women because a lot of times we tend to be the one that has to take a step back or, oh no, don't be this way. Don't be too aggressive. Don't be, otherwise you're going to be seen as being, mean or, nasty. And then men aren't seen that same way. They could behave the exact same way and it's totally accepted. So I am very, very passionate about making sure that your voice is heard. I'm sure every woman out there understands what I'm going through. If you've been in a field where it's male dominated or even sometimes in your relationship, you're told to just keep your mouth quiet and then let the other person speak. And so I just want to make sure that everyone's voices are heard and empower yourselves. This is your retirement, not someone else's. Take action, do what's right for you. Why do women need a different retirement than men? One very obvious answer is we tend to live longer than they do, which means we'll need more money to do all the things that we've dreamed of and to really live out a fulfilled retirement. And so the other thing would be a lot of times women are the ones that need to step up and care for others. And so in doing that, again, need resources. Maybe you need to take a step back from your career to be able to do that. And so a lot of times we need to think about other things that don't just impact us directly, but indirectly then have an effect on us. Some of the other things that we encounter is women tend to understand risk more. So that's not necessarily a bad thing, but we may tend to be a little bit more cautious even in our investment planning process. So, which the danger in that sometimes is that we don't allow our money to grow enough or at a fast enough pace to keep up with inflation and everything else. And so the end result could be running out of money again. Other things would be, just again, the longevity piece is the huge piece that then impacts our estate plan, caring for others, rising healthcare costs. If you live longer, you're going to have more expenses covered. And so those are a lot of the things that women need to plan for differently than men. And a lot of times we have our single clients that they don't have anyone else to kind of bounce ideas off of. And so we need to make sure that we are the guide for them. A lot of times we also have married couples, and a lot of women tend to let their husbands or their partner dictate what they should be doing. And that's also a danger there because let's face it, women, we know what we need to do. And a lot of times our women, they don't call it men's intuition, they call it women's intuition. And so we need to lean in on that and make sure that our voices are heard. Being in a male dominated industry, I completely understand how that feels, because a lot of times, whether now or even when I was in my corporate job, a lot of times I'm surrounded by men. And so, the voice isn't, you don't feel that empowerment to be able to say things sometimes because women need to act a certain way. And if you're a little bit more vocal, then you're being seen in a different light, right? But if a male acts the same way, it's accepted and it's okay. So I think for me, it's just making sure that every woman out there, make sure that your voice is heard, make sure your ideas are heard, because quite frankly, a lot of times we see the bigger picture. And so that's what I would implore you to do. And if you don't know what to do, or you're feeling lost, or don't feel like there's someone that you can talk to, I'm here for you. Let's have a conversation. Contact us or check out more of our Women in Finance series, and hopefully that'll inspire you to take action, and I'll get a chance to talk to you. Thanks.